Meet Imran Adeniran, the Chief of Designers, popularly known as Alaga Awon Designer, a creative designer that designs for a living and then decided to launch his own line of tech gadgets brand from scratch. Today, we're stepping into his world to see how he does it all, to learn from his story, how far he has gone, and gain insights from his ambitious visions. Stay with us and ensure you click on the subscribe button as we take you through his process story and his progress so far. What's up, everybody? My name is Saladin Abdul Basit, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, ensure you click on the subscribe button and click on the notification button to turn on the notification bell. And stay with us, stay true. You are going to learn a lot on this channel as we are going to be sharing quite a lot of values with you. And you have a lot to gain before you finish watching even a single video on this channel. So today I'm with a creative, a designer, someone that is brilliant, someone that is creative to the core, someone that is versatile as well. He's a brand identity designer, popularly known as Alaga Awon Designer. You know what that means? It means he's a creative, like he's the boss of all designers, right? So his name is Imran Adeniran Alaga, popularly known as Alaga. So we are with him today, and today we're going to be talking about designs. We're going to be talking about the tech industry. We're going to talk about the design industry. We're going to talk about tech. We're going to talk about tech accessories industry as well, and everything in between. So please help us with our viewers.
Hi everyone, it's so nice to be here today. My name is Imran Adeniran, popularly known as Alaga. I'm a graphic designer and I specialize majorly as a brand identity designer. I've worked with so many startups, companies over the past 6 years, and I have gathered a lot of experience myself, and I decided to start my own business known as Ovit Technologies, where we sell tech gadgets and accessories to techies. It's so nice to be here today, and I hope we learn one or two together.
Like I said, if you're new here, ensure you click on the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, and we're going to learn a lot together. So let's start this way. Can you share your journey with us into brand identity? How did it all start?
Well, I started my journey as a print artist back then in Lagos State. After my secondary school, I was enrolled by my mom into a print shop to learn how to print. Basically, that was what I went there for. So along the line, my boss is someone who likes to take me out a lot. So that gave me the edge and I was able to learn faster. And while at it, I realized something, that in the print industry, you can't do anything print without getting your designs first. So design is like our first point. It's like our point A when handling any print job. So I saw it as an opportunity to learn design, despite the fact that I was there to learn print at first. So I started going out with my boss, learning how to put designs together. And then eventually I decided to start doing graphic design myself. So down the line, I had to niche down a little bit to brand identity designer because as it is, the graphic design industry is a very wide one. So you can either go for motion design, brand identity, illustrations, and the like. Because of my love for business and putting one and two together to sell, right? So I decided to go for the brand identity design so I can work directly with businesses and help develop businesses too. So that was how it all started.
So it means even before you got admission into a tertiary institution, you've been into design. Printing, and all
Exactly. I finished secondary school in 2013. I enrolled in the print shop around 2013, late 2013, 14, 15. I left there after 18 months. So, and I started the design before leaving there. So while in the Polytechnic, before I came down to Unilorin, of course, I was practicing design, doing one and two and getting paid from it. So it all started before my tertiary institution started.
So aside from the fact that your boss put you through it, there was some time or stage in your life where you were self-learning, right?
Yes, yeah. But the part of graphic design where I was a generalist, I did most part as a self-learner because my boss, like I mentioned earlier, is someone into printing. He doesn't do design. In fact, there are so many times that we have to contract the design part of the print job to a designer. So I am learning it directly from that designer and also self-learning on my own after work every day.
You seem to have, quite a solid foundation when it comes to aspect the design industry and all of that. You also have, a brand that you manage. You are the, CEO of your brand and all of that. You manage Ovit, and quite a lot of people know Ovit. In fact, myself, the PC I'll be using to edit this video, I got it Ovit. So quite a lot of people know Ovit and all of that. So what inspired you to create your own tech gadget brand or tech accessory brand?
Okay, so back then, whenever I take my laptop to school, I get people asking me, where did you get a laptop? I like your laptop. So it got to a point where I was recommending laptops to people, to the kind of laptop they should buy. And I realized that it's a very crucial tool when it comes to the tech industry. You have to know the right laptop to buy. So I was recommending laptops to people, and at a point, I just, that kind of, you probably say, soji. I can really make a business out of this thing.
Yeah.
So I decided to give the trial. I told my friends that we were together. Then shout out to them, my clique. They helped me a lot
That's
in
great.
that regard. So it helped me, and that inspired me. And then it all started. We all know what Ovit is today.
So was it like you kind of like do have a background knowledge of what system specs looks like, what should not be this, what system a video editor should use, a motion designer should use, a graphic designer? Do you have like that background knowledge before you go into the gadget business? Or?
Okay, I'll have to take you back to my very first laptop, which was gotten for me by my mom. So that laptop, it wasn't really that top-notch laptop, but then it did the work. So from that very first laptop, I had the knowledge of, okay, if I have to change this laptop, I know what I'll be looking out for, because I am taking note of this, taking note of the other thing on that same laptop. So it gave me that knowledge that, okay, you can't use the same laptop for every industry out there. You can't use the same laptop as a designer for engineering drawings and the likes. So I had that as my residual knowledge. So when I started dealing laptops, I can't say I have the full knowledge of laptops and specs generally, because I didn't have to wait to learn the whole thing before starting. But I have the residual knowledge of, okay, if this is Core i7, this is that. So that's little knowledge that I had then was what I started with. But I have to also mention that it's one of the things that I take note of, that if you are going to start any business, you need full-blown knowledge about it. Maybe not all, but you need knowledge about whatever business you're starting. Immediately after starting the business, I know I need to get that knowledge to be able to give me an edge in the industry. So I started learning about it. In fact, I have so many bookmarks on my laptop about laptop specifications, build modes, and all of those things. So that's it.
Was there like a moment where you knew that, fine, I'm done with school, or even before you're done with school, like you said, you've been designing since when you're in school, and I guess you've been selling laptops since when you're in school.
Yes.
You've launched your business since when you're in school. So was there like a point or a moment in your life where you knew that, oh yes, this is going to be like my career path. I want to be a brand identity designer full-time. I want to found a startup, a tech gadget brand full-time. Was there like a moment where you knew that, oh, this is exactly what I want to do, this is my career path,
Okay, well, as humans,
or is it related to what you did in school?
No, well, just like every other student out there will tell you, because today we have people who studied engineering and they are working in the bank. So it's always like that most times for Nigerian students. So, but for me, I think what worked for me was that I started it, then I was open, and that's one thing I would also like to mention. You don't hope without doing anything. You start, you put in your effort, then you hope that it turns out well. So that was what I did. So I started the business while in school. I launched Ovit while in my final year in school. So I was selling with the hope that, okay, let's start the business. Let's see what comes out of it. Of course, I wasn't planning that I'm going to work a 9 to 5 somewhere with my certificate or anything. But I started to know what exactly I'm going to get out of it, because I wouldn't know if I didn't start. I wasn't just hoping. I started then. I was hoping for the best. And at the end of it, alhamdulillah, I realized at the point, I didn't know this while starting, but at the point, like you asked, I realized that, okay, maybe this is just the path to go. One thing why I stuck with Ovit is it relates with my main skill, which is graphic design. Being a graphic designer, I work with a lot of techies. I work with motion designers. I work, in fact, with business developers, analysts, and the likes. So I know this is something I can also offer them apart from my design skill. So I kind of stuck with it because I hoped, and it worked. It turned out well, and then.
Alhamdulillah. So that's actually great. I'm inspired with your story so far. So talking about design, what does your creative process look like when you are creating a design from scratch?
Okay, the first part is to understand the client. In fact, to save you so many troubles.
Understand the client.
Yes, if you understand the client, what they want, how they want it delivered, and a whole lot of other things under this category. Understand the client, know exactly what they demand from you, and try to reach an agreement before starting out. Because I have seen a lot in this industry, even with personal experience while working with people. If you don't understand the clients, there will be problems later on. So after understanding the client, knowing what they want, get the brief from them, then dissect the brief. I dissect the brief. The question was personal. Okay, then I dissect the brief. I understand what exactly they demand from me, what business we are trying to work on. Then after that, I make my own research about the business, about the industry, about their target audience, the people they are trying to serve, what they are trying to serve them. If it's a product-based business, I try to make a research about the product, to have a full-blown knowledge about the business I'm trying to brand. Then after that, in some cases, I use mood boards to understand the industry further. And then I move on to the sketch phase, putting my thoughts on paper, because I usually do this to save myself time and stress. I don't go to my PC first. No, I put down my thoughts on paper. After putting out my sketch, I go on my PC, I reiterate and refine here and there. Then hold a call with the client to present the option, or in some cases, more than one option. Then after that, if there's any case for refining further, we do that. And if not, we deliver. And that's it in a nutshell.
You know, the design space is quite competitive these days, right?
Sure.
And, different people are coming up with new designs, new illustrations, new ideas, and all of that. So what I'm saying is, like, how do you keep your own, designs fresh in the competitive space?
Oh, well, like you said, the design industry is a very competitive one. You have so many designers. In fact, some business owners will claim they are graphic designers. So in the brand identity space, like you said, Jai's rebranded a few days ago and it's received a lot of backlash here and there. The logo should have been this, should have been that. I won't be talking about that, but I have to say, as a designer, research is very, very important, because there's one thing I know and I learned from Austin Kleon. There's no new idea anywhere. Everyone is just stealing like an artist. You pick from this, from that, then you join together to create yours. So, and there's this saying that when you borrow from one person, it is plagiarism, and when you borrow from multiple people, it is literature review. So that's how the industry is. So you borrow from different people, you try to make research. That design, if the designer had done their research, I'm not sure we'll be here today talking about the backlash and the likes. So I try to do as much research as possible. In fact, sometimes I request for more days if I have to, because while working with the client, I give them the time frame. And if there's any need for us to review the time frame, I let them know as well, because research is very important. So after making my research, I try as much as possible to put my own creative juice to it. And so that's how I stand out and come out with.
So are there like specific tools or specific softwares that you rely on, your go-to softwares or tools as a designer?
As a designer, I use CorelDRAW. 100%, I use CorelDRAW, and I use Photoshop to mock my work up and do a few other things too, and AI in some instances. And then I use Figma as well. I can use Figma if the need arises.
I'm pretty sure you have quite some AI tools you can share with those that are watching the house. Maybe I'll get that and drop the link in the description for them.
No problem.
All right. So, like you said, the design space is competitive. You have to meet up with deadlines. You have to meet up with this. You have to think and make research before you'll be able to come up with a design that is top notch and all of that. So in all of this, how do you manage to balance you being a designer and you being a brand owner of Ovit? I don't know, it might be tasking.
Yeah, of course it is. It's quite demanding because let's start with the content part first. You have to create content for both brands. You have to create content for your design business, because at the same time you want people to know what you're working on. And on the other hand, you have to create content for the product-based business. Well, it's quite demanding, but one thing that Allah has used to help me is the kind of people I have around me. They have helped me so much. They kind of lift so many of these things off me, and I think it has helped.
That's how you've been balancing.
Actually, yeah.
Do you have some like team members you work with and all of
that? Yeah, of course, we do have them. We have people in the content team that create the content, and then of course I do the designing myself. So we have others who help us with logistics, and we've been at it, and so far,
alhamdulillah. So in this business, what's like your biggest challenge, the biggest challenge you faced as a founder of this tech gadget business?
Okay, like every other business owner out there, I know if I'm saying this, I'll be saying it from the art of so many business owners. The number one thing is logistics. Logistics will take your money and it will stress you. So as a product-based business owner, this is something you want to know about before going into the business. Logistics, I think there's been changes because we've been in the business for a while. So we've had partners everywhere. If you're sending to the east, we have partners that will work with us. In fact, I just have to make a phone call and they'll get it there. So I believe if you're at it for a while, you will get partners everywhere. In fact, in some cases, you have to get people's number to work with them, and they will do the heavy lifting of you, and it will all make sense at the end. But one of the challenges that we'll face is logistics. And this is Nigeria now. Bad roads, everything. And customers don't want to pay for shipping by air. So we prefer the road option. And the roads, we all know how they are. So, well, logistics is one. And the other part that I think is a little bit stressful, maybe because of my other engagement, is content. Content. And we all know content is the art of the business. So if you are not putting content out there to look like maybe the art is dead, the art of the business is dead. So it's another challenging thing. But then I've known this before starting, that we always have to put out content. So regardless of how tasking it is, we still have to do it. So those are the challenges so far.
That's great. What does the process look like for those that want to maybe patronize of it? They want to buy a gadget. What do they have to do? They have to just reach out to your socials, and can you just explain the process?
Okay.
Do you kind of like send anywhere, or is just Nigeria?
Actually, we deliver nationwide, and in fact, we've delivered to countries outside Nigeria. We've had our laptop in UAE and as well in Ivory Coast, as well as other countries like that, and anywhere in Nigeria. We send laptops to the east, to anywhere in Nigeria, basically. So far, we've sent laptops to about 30 states in Nigeria.
Out of 36.
Out of 36. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So the process is basically, you can find us anywhere. In fact, if you search for Ovit Technologies on Google, you get the full details about the business. So you can reach out from anywhere. So once they reach out, maybe on Instagram, on TikTok, anywhere, and they tell us what they want. And I think I have to mention that there's an edge with people who patronize Ovit. We don't just sell laptops to them. We recommend. And that's the difference.
You don't just sell, you recommend.
We recommend, exactly. We recommend, then sell. Because recommendation comes after consultation. We talk to you. We know what exactly you are into. If you're a graphic designer, if you're a video editor, I think we had that talk together when you wanted to get a laptop. Exactly. So we talk about what you do. Okay, we give our recommendations. Okay, what are your plans? Like that. And then we'll talk about the payments. So
apparently you're doing all of this to make sure that anything they're getting from you is serving their needs.
Exactly. So it has to be on point. We don't just sell and hope that it will work. We try to find out what you do, then we recommend. In fact, in some cases, we've turned down some deals because if it's not going to work for them, then why are we selling it to them? So we just back off. Probably when the person up their budget or something, then we go ahead with the deal just to protect the brand. I have to mention that.
Yeah. So after the whole process, they reach out to you. You kind of like consultation. You recommend, and they go ahead to make a purchase, and you send it out. How do you approach branding for your own personal business? For example, now someone like me, I'm a video editor. I do motion, right? If I want to work on some of my personal projects, I want people to know that yes, the person that did this work is a video editor, right?
Exactly.
So how do you approach, branding for your own business compared to a client's business?
Well, that part of trying to make it look perfect is where we all encounter issues because you want to make the work speak for itself, and people will be like, I will design this like that. So I think the part of trying to make it perfect is where we all have issues while starting, because you ask a designer today and tell them, okay, design a logo for your business. In fact, tell a designer to design an invoice for their design business. They'll find it difficult. But ask someone to hire them to design 10 invoices or more. They will do it because they are getting paid for it. And sometimes it's not just about the payment. The motivation too is not there, right? So, and in some cases where you push yourself and say, okay, I have to do it, you will always try to make it perfect. And at the end of it all, you might get tired or something and just drop it for something else. So I think it's a little bit difficult. But then, okay, while starting Ovit, it was one of those issues that I faced because I designed the logo. And I had to set some accountability measures then to make me pull it off, because I know if I'm basing it off my own instinct, I might never pull out the logo. So I eventually did, and I'm so glad I did. But it's a challenge, honestly. And I don't know. So our viewers, you can decide to set the same accountability measure for yourself. Maybe tell someone that, okay, if I don't come up with a logo or a flyer for my business in 10 days, or just set the deadline, and I'm going to pay you so amounts to the accountability partner. I think something like that to motivate you to be able to do the job for yourself.
So what do you think are some of the mistakes that brands are making when it comes to their brand identity?
If you start talking about that, I'm not sure we're going to leave here because there are so many mistakes.
So many,
you mentioned one earlier with the bank, but there are so many other mistakes, especially for small business owners. Okay, so they believe after the logo is done, then their brand is all set. No, you've just taken off the brand identity part. Then there's the marketing, because the logo itself won't do the marketing. Some small business owners make that mistake. They try to put all they do inside their logo, thinking, okay, once people see my logo, I want them to know what I'm doing. No, there's a part of brand equity. There are so many things that comes into play, because that's one of those things that brands use. When you see the Apple logo, they don't sell Apple, they sell tech gadgets, imagine, and they have Apple as their logo. It's not balanced. So they rely on other things. The logo is just as a means of identification. So once you have your logo, then you start pushing this logo as much as possible. You want people to recognize this logo when they see it anywhere, and immediately you want them to associate it with your business and the feelings that come with it. Another mistake some businesses make is they are not consistent with whatever identity they are keeping online. Today you're using red, tomorrow you're using blue, all because you think people won't realize, people won't know, or people won't think about it, or let me just market. Let me just know.
Very important.
Very, very important. So you have to stay consistent. You want people to see your color and realize, okay, and think subconsciously that, okay, this is this brand. And not just colors, sometimes it has to do with your brand fonts, your design style, layout, and all other things. So there are so many mistakes, like I said earlier, but let's just take this two for now.
Okay, let me go from there. How do you see the design space evolving over the years? What are the things you feel like, okay, with time, all of this are going to change? What are the evolution you see that is going to come into the design space in the coming years?
Well, let me start from the point of AI. Because the AI is changing a whole lot of things. Yesterday, I was working on a project and I needed an image. I'm going to give you the link to this particular tool so you can share with your viewers, inshallah.
No
I was working on a particular project and I needed an image. I searched everywhere. I couldn't get the image. And then I thought, this is AI period now. Why don't I just
use AI
into it? Then I entered my prompts and in less than a minute, I had the image I needed. In fact, it gave me 4. So I had to give 4 with one prompt. I had to choose one. Then I worked on it. So one thing is, please don't sleep on AI at all. Try to learn as much AI tools as you can. Very, very important, because with these tools, you can deliver faster. Imagine me trying to hire a photographer. I know she's photographers, but I'm just saying, imagine trying to hire a photographer. Okay, come and take the shots, this, that, the stress, the time it's going to waste. And where is the money to actually fund this kind of thought? So there are so many things involved, but then please learn AI, because we've been hearing, and you must have heard too, that AI is the future. So I think that's the major trend. That like every other thing that is going to come after this will still be AI. Although I can say the AI tools are going to be refined, and just like we have with GPT, there's GPT-5 now. I don't know. By the time someone is watching this video, maybe 10 years, there might be something else. Like a GPT-X. So like that. So please just learn the AI tools as much as you can. They are the future. So it will give you an edge. And there's this notion about, okay, AI taking people's job. Okay, like I mentioned with photographers and the likes now. It doesn't mean me using AI to generate a picture doesn't mean it's going to take the photographer's work. The photographer has to learn some tools to be able to up his own game. I learned that tool to up my own game as a designer. So, and there are so many other tools like that.
Thank you so very much for that brilliant response. I really appreciate it. Like I said, it's been an inspiring session so far. So if you are new here and you are just coming to this channel, please ensure you click on the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you are going to get notified anytime we are dropping a new video, a new hack, a new tool, something going to be coming your way on this channel. Help us tell them to subscribe.
Okay, please subscribe to this channel. We are going to be learning a whole lot of things that are on the lineup for you. Subscribe and hit the notification bell.
So like you heard from him, make sure you subscribe to this channel. So moving forward, where do you see opportunities in the tech accessory business right now?
Well, one thing I will have to say regarding that is the market is wide enough, because we are preaching, okay, learn tech. And these people that are telling to learn tech, they need tools to do their tech work, right? So the market is so wide and it is not closing anytime soon. You just need an edge. You need an edge in this industry. You need people to know you, because there's no point in having fine logo, having fine this, fine that, without people knowing you. So you have to invest on your identity first, and then on marketing. How do you want people to find out about you? The question is about, okay, is the industry wide enough for people? Yes, it is. You can always come in, but make sure you're not just coming in to add to the crowd. Make sure you create that edge for yourself, and
coming in to make a difference. So practically, you're saying that as much as there are a lot of opportunities in the tech industry, there's also opportunities in the tech, gadget industry business as well. Okay, that's brilliant. As a designer, as a founder, CEO of a company, right? So how does a day in your life looks like? Like, is he always busy? I don't know. I can't imagine.
One thing is, it's always busy. Because as a designer, I work with some other businesses too. Because while trying to develop my own business, I'm also helping other people develop theirs using my design. So I make designs. A typical day will be, okay, waking up, doing my salah, and starting my day after some morning rituals, and then I start my day with trying to tick off my to-do list. And at the top of my to-do list is, what content are we posting today? Like I said earlier, business owners, you must always think of what are we posting today. So I try to work out, okay, what are we posting? Okay, for Ovit, sometimes I speak with the content team and we talk, okay, let's post this, okay, let's push this out. And then after that, I try to meet deadlines. That's one other thing for designers. There are always deadlines to meet. I try to meet deadlines. I have to work on the brand identity project. I tick that off as well. And then on some days where we have to make deliveries, we test the laptops, do installations, and also we do tailored installations for our clients at Ovit. We try to install applications that they might be needing for their work
before we send
to them. Actually, So after that, we pack, then deliver to their respective owners. Yeah, if and for the case of accessories too, that it's basically the same
The
thing.
same thing.
And taking that off, I have the time to myself, which in some cases that not always, but then
Yeah.
I have my own spare time to spend with my family, to spend on myself, like that.
The
So
times you go out to get some things for yourself.
for
as well,
myself, yeah,
you know.
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So apparently you do some other things to that outside, your main business
Well,
and
of course,
even design
of
as
course.
well. So
All work and no play.
definitely. So what do you do at your leisure? Like, what do you do?
Well, I play video games, and most importantly, I do sports.
Which kind of sport?
Football. So I play football. That will be mostly on weekends. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I try as much as possible not to miss it because it's wanted to be on this chair working all week, and you always try to you want to move your body and get recharged for the week
for the week
coming.
ahead.
Yeah, for the week ahead, of course. So I do sports. Sometimes I play video games, and yeah, those two alone. I think.
So
Yeah.
do you kind of like have a time to socialize with people? Maybe you go for an event or you meet up with friends or
Yeah. I meet up with friends, but one thing to note is I didn't grow up in Ilorin, so I have limited friends here, of course.
definitely.
But if it was to be back in the hood, yeah, I go out a lot to speak with my friends and all.
Yeah.
But here in Ilorin, yeah, there's an event and like so meet up, brothers meet up and we socialize, we talk,
Yeah.
we gist and a whole lot of things.
I see. So in this industry, the design industry, basically, who and what inspire you to become more creative, to become better in your field, in your industry, and all of that? Like, who inspires your creativity the most, and what inspires your creativity the most?
Okay, well, as for the who question, I can't really say just one person.
Yeah.
But one thing I try to do is I learn from a lot of designers, from the gurus, Tola Labi, Tola Graphic, and the likes. I follow their works, see how they do their presentation. I see how the kind of thoughts that they put into their work. Yeah, so designers like that, and even some other designers. So I learned from a lot of people, a lot of designers. Once I see your work and I see the kind of thoughts you put into your work and I see the intentionality behind it, definitely I'm going to give you a follow and also follow your works, because it's also one thing for designers need to take note of. You don't just learn from one person and say, okay, this is my mentor. I'm trying to stick with my mentor. I'm not learning from any other person. No, it doesn't work that way. You learn from different people. I tell people that I teach, I send them case studies to go through and learn from it too. So you don't just learn from one person. You learn from a lot of people. As long as they are good at what they do, then you definitely learn from them. So about the what inspires me? Well, just like every other designer, there are inspirations to pick from all around us. So you can pick inspiration from anywhere. But one thing I do regarding my work is I try to get a mental image of what I'm trying to create. Okay, if I am hired to work on the brand analytics designer for a business, I try to soak all the information in. Then subconsciously or even intentionally, I might pick up inspiration from anywhere while working, while playing football, while doing anything. In fact, sometimes while just scrolling online, you can see something that will inspire you because you already know what you're trying to achieve with a certain logo or certain product, so or a certain brand. So I get inspired by a lot of things, like I said. So it depends on what I'm trying to work on and the kind of mood that I've set myself in.
So apparently you're saying that designers can actually get their inspiration from anybody, anywhere, and they're just inspirations around they can pick from.
Exactly. There are so many design groups, design communities here and there, but like you said, non-toxic, because in some cases, like we've seen online, there are some groups that are even young designers are always afraid of posting their work there because of the backlash. But I always have to say that when we talk about criticism, sometimes criticisms don't have to be soft. Sometimes, but one advice that I will give to designers is, if you're posting your work and people are giving you feedback, don't just expect the sweet feedback, especially if you're just starting. Because in some cases, they'll give you feedback and you don't like them. But one thing to take note of is focus on what is being said, not how it is being said. Focus on what the person is trying to pass. Just leave out maybe anything that might come after it or around it. I don't know. But make sure you focus on the message. Just speak the message and leave the rest. Because so many groups, they might have demoralized some designers because of how they criticize their works. But to you as a designer, just focus on what is being said. Take the lesson and move on. That's it. So how we can build communities, it starts from someone like me and other designers out there. It doesn't have to be a group thing. So once you are posting your work, expect feedback. Expect feedback from people. What are they saying about the work? Look back. How can you make it better? make it better, and post it again. It's that simple. Don't see it as people hating on you. No one is hating on you. They are seeing it as it's coming to their mind. Just take the lesson and move on.
With that, designers tend to do better and create more amazing stuff.
Exactly.
So before we go, what is your advice for someone that is willing to just start out in the design industry, and what will you say to someone that is willing to learn a new tech skill at the moment?
Okay, if you're just starting out as a designer, one of those things that I've said earlier is take feedback from people. When you post your work and they give feedback, try to work on them, then continue posting. And I call that term learning in public. When you learn in public, people give you feedback and they follow your story. This person is learning. Okay, let's follow. That's why you see
learning
people learning in public. Yeah, that's why you see some people telling you, I knew about it when you were learning this. How you are this good now. So, that's kind of story.
You take them through your process.
Exactly. So learn in public. While learning in public, in fact, when some experienced people in your field notice you, they can even reach out to you and say, okay, I like what you've been doing. They tell you what you can do better and they give you advice here and there. So it's always good to learn in public. And if you're trying to pick up a tech skill, please don't just pick up a tech skill with vibes. Make research. What are you good at? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Will you be able to follow through with whatever skill you choose? Because if you're learning for the wrong reasons, you might not go far. I'm so sorry. Because you will not be motivated at the end of the day. But if you're learning for the right reasons, of course, you will know why you started and why you're learning. So pick the right skill, know your strengths, like I said, your weakness, and you can always refine going forward.
Okay, that's actually a brilliant, session so far. But this is a random question. Mac or Windows?
I'm in a Windows guy, so Windows, yeah.
Windows, anytime, any day.
Windows, yeah.
Light theme or dark theme?
I prefer dark.
Yeah. Why?
That's vibe, yeah, of course.
Okay, that's actually great, and that has been a wonderful session so far, a wonderful interview so far with Mr. Imran Adeniran, popularly known as Alaga. If you've watched up to this point, ensure you click on the subscribe button and ensure you turn on the notification bell to get notified anytime you're posting a new video, a new content like this one. I'm pretty sure you've enjoyed the session so far. Help us tell them to subscribe.
Okay, again, please subscribe to this channel. You're going to be learning a whole lot of things that will help you as a creative. So subscribe and hit the notification bell. Okay,
thank you everyone for watching to this point. If you're going to ask a brand identity designer any question, what is that question going to be? Ensure you put it in the comment section. We'll be reading the comments and we'll be providing answers to your question. And as usual, make sure you click on the subscribe button and we'll see you on the next one.